Race 1 of the 2023, a Serbisch-Czech round. Brilliant getaway from Remy Gardner. Fast start as well from Axel Bassani. He's going to move up to alongside to challenge Toprak Razgatlioglu into turn 1. And Axel Bassani has fired his way through from the second row of the grid to lead into the first turn. A couple of riders going straight on at the opening bend. We'll pick them up in a moment, but it's Axel Bassani who leads Toprak Razgatlioglu, dropping back through the order there.
The full wet runners are away at the front of the field, but it's going to change all the way through this race. Jonathan Ray in third position. He's out there in intermediate tyres. He's the leading intro runner.
Bassani, Gardner, Ray, Razgatlioglu, Locatelli is currently your top 5. There's Xavi Vierke now putting a pass on Toprak Razgatlioglu, through on Locatelli as well for P4.
Bautista's out there, wet tyres. That's why he's picking off riders as he gets down the inside of Locatelli. Looked like maybe a bit of contact there. If you've got the wet tyres at this stage, you've got a big advantage. That's going to change as the race progresses though.
Bautista already through on Rinaldi. I suppose as the race goes on, he will be hoping for further wet weather, but for the moment they're going every which way. Jonathan Ray now coming under attack from Xavi Vierke. Toprak Razgatlioglu dropping back. He's been picked off by both of the Aruba IT Racing Ducatis, Bautista and Rinaldi. We ride on board as Bautista cuts his way through from the 5th row of the grid and already is through and up into 3rd place, and Jonathan Ray now will be picked off by Xavi Vierke. Vierke through on Bautista, but Bautista with the cutback recovers the racing line. Look how far clear Axel Bassani has streaked at the end of lap 1. 1.7 seconds was the lead across the last timing beam, ahead of Remy Gardner in 2nd place. Almost the length of a straight now clear of Alvaro Bautista in 3rd, Xavi Vierke in 4th position and Jonathan Ray in 5th. They make their way then off the final 2 turns at the end of lap number 3, and Jonathan Ray has got so much more speed, he breezes past Vierke. This is a little bit further back, the fight for 7th. Michael van der Mark held them back and has accelerated clear now of Michael Ruben Rinaldi. By the looks of things, he's got Gerloff, Baldassari all on his tail, and Petrucci coming back at them as well.
Yeah, look at how the intermediate runners, Toprak, Petrucci and Locatelli are clawing over the back of everyone. The interest the tyre to be on right now.
3-4 abreast as the riders negotiate their way round this increasingly drying outer Drom Moss. Michael Ruben Rinaldi's already lost 2 places. Lorenzo Baldassari and Garrett Gerloff are through. Danilo Petrucci is the next in line to attack on the tail of Rinaldi. Then it's the 2 Pata Yamahas, Toprak Razgatlioglu and Andrea Locatelli. They're 11th and 12th for now, but not for too much longer. Petrucci up alongside Michael Ruben Rinaldi and was sparing no thought for the fact that it's a fellow Ducati runner as he breezed through. This is Jonathan Ray on Alvaro Bautista up into the provisional podium places at the start of lap number 5. A lap ago it was against Vierke, now it's against Bautista, who's relegated back. Ray on the inside, Bautista tries to turn in, but the Kawasaki man has the racing line and the tyre of choice.
Yeah, and you can see now riders starting to pit these, the full wet weather runners. If you're out there on the wet tyre, you're going to be 15 seconds a lap slower. That's why it's so easy for Jonathan Ray to come through in the intermediate tyre, which should probably end up being about 4 or 5 seconds a lap off a dry weather pace. If you're on wet tyres, you got no chance. That's why we're seeing riders come into the pits.
Remy Gardner running wide, could open the door to Alvaro Bautista to get the pass done. It does, so Bautista back up into the podium places.
Bautista into the pits, you have to spend 58 seconds in pit lane for the pit intervention time, so he's going to lose the best part of a minute with this stop.
Scott Redding already up from 10th to 5th now, with Andrea Locatelli and Toprak Razgatlioglu fighting his way through as well. So Razgatlioglu on the tail of Petrucci, and this is for a provisional podium place.
Yeah, it does look like interest for all of these riders, including Redding there. We saw a quick glimpse that looked like he treaded tyres in the front, so for all these riders, they know it. This is their chance. There's still a podium at bay.
Razgatlioglu down the inside of Petrucci and through for 3rd position. We watch Alvaro Bautista, and it looked as though it was going to be a slick tyre for Bautista to make his way back out onto track.
What's Bassani going to do? Is he going to come straight into the pits now, or is he going to try and hold it out for another lap? As it is, he's going to be passed by Jonathan Ray. The next
Razgatlioglu wide. Toprak Razgatlioglu runs wide. Petrucci is through. Redding is through. Locatelli is through. And that's the ever-present danger in these tracks conditions. And that's going to make it very, very treacherous indeed for riders who do go out there on slick tyres in a couple of minutes' time. Lap number 6 then of 22. Razgatlioglu demoted down to 6th place. This then is Alvaro Bautista making his way out onto the circuit. tiptoeing his way through turn number 1. He's going to have to initially, and then play the long game and wait for track conditions to continue to improve. Your race leader, Axel Bassani, comes into the pits, and Jonathan Rea leads once again in 2023. Can Jonathan Rea finally claim his first race victory of the season? He's the best placed surely of anyone at this stage.
He's 12 seconds up the road from any other intermediate runner out there, and the reason for that is Rea was willing to put it on the line right from the start of this race.
Toprak with a big moment there as they tried to come up and lap Tito Rabat, and Toprak was trying to make the pass on Andrea Locatelli at the same time. It might be under braking now. Heaviest braking point on the circuit in towards turn number 1. Razgatlioglu to the outside of teammate Locatelli, breezes through as long as he gets it stopped in time. Of course he will. It's Toprak Razgatlioglu. He's through for 4th position.
There's no love lost between these former MotoGP teammates. Redding knows it. There's a chance being able to hold on to a 2nd position, potentially a race win as well, depending on what Jonathan Rea does. Petrucci knows it's his chance as well.
Big bold move there down the inside for Danilo Petrucci. That's put Scott Redding offline, and an opportunity for Toprak Razgatlioglu to make further ground. Scott Redding scrapping for his first podium of this 2023 campaign, where he managed one of 3 podiums for BMW last season. But Razgatlioglu needs every point in his championship quest, because he knows opportunities like this with Bautista outside of those top 10 places don't come along too often. Razgatlioglu with the better line through there. He will shoot down the inside of Scott Redding, and through he goes for 3rd place. Oh, Petrucci wide. Danilo Petrucci wide going into turn 1, and Toprak Razgatlioglu is gifted 2nd place. Locatelli has closed right onto his tail now. We watch the two of them, the BMW man who pulled off the miracles in the early running to get up to P2, who's putting in the kind of performance that reminds us in time just what he is capable of, but he is not going to be able to resist Andrea Locatelli, and Locatelli does indeed come through successfully for 4th position. Loris Baz beginning to lose pace, half a second slower per lap at the moment than Alex Lowe's, and the gap is down to half a second, so it does look as though we'll get a race for P8. Here's the pass from Scott Redding.
It's going to be the same move that we saw from Aguilar. You just get down the inside and park the bike and make sure the other rider can attack back. Good clean move from Redding.
Last lap around, Andrea Locatelli was close coming in towards turn 20. Locatelli on lap 18 makes the pass down the inside of Redding, but he can't get it stopped. He's going to run wide off the racing line, and I think 4th position now belongs to Scott Redding.
He's still on course to pick up 16 points compared to his championship rival, so not to be sniffed at if you're Toprak Razgatlioglu, especially whenever you think that Bautista's going to have to start from the 5th row of the grid for the 10-lap Superpole race tomorrow as well.
This was the pass from Mikel Lecuona to get through on Andrea Locatelli for 5th.
Yeah, and he just uses the drive from that last corner, the top speed of the Honda, and he's through by the time they come to the line, and then he can just pick what he needs to do on the braking point.
It's all about Jonathan Rea making his way now through the final sector, 4 seconds up on Toprak Razgatlioglu. Razgatlioglu's attack has been valiant, but he has not been able to bridge the gap. Finally, he appears in the same shot as Jonathan Rea, but it's too little and too late. A masterful ride from Jonathan Rea in damp conditions in the early stages. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. A first victory of 2023 for the number 65. Jonathan Rea wins for the first time in Most. 2nd place will go to Toprak Razgatlioglu. His championship rival Alvaro Bautista down in 12th position. The number 54 will be 54 points back with 2 races remaining here of the Czech round.